There's a test called sleep apnea. It's shocking. Like your normal breathing stopping every hour should be not more than 5. But there are people who will be stopping their breath by 20, 25, 30.
Is that the reason why they get up in the morning feeling completely tired and fatigued and not having felt a good night of sleep?
See,
Kids are losing interest in traditional team sports.
70% of kids drop out of sports by age 13.
I feel 12 to 14 is the age that a child selects the sports. We have done a study on primary school children and we found out 13% of the school children had scoliosis.
What is scoliosis?
A spine not being straight, it's either on the right side or left side. So prevention has to start from school level. This is a point to be noted. Our lungs were made for 4.5 to 5 liters of air and Indians are below 2 liters.
Physical
we lost
fitness.
all COVID patients if we have lost them because the vital capacity was below 1.2 liters. Pranayam guy will be 4 liters plus those who are doing pranayam.
Do pranayam to boost your vital capacity, which hugely improves your... What's your opinion on water?
See, water has to be had sip by sip. When you stand and you gulp a bottle, so there are chances that some droplets can go into the windpipe. And that's how you always get cold, always you're coughing, you're coughing.
In the same breath of water, what about eating?
Few things which you have to keep checking to have a healthy life, to live 100. One,
Is a simple habit like carrying your wallet in your back pocket silently sabotaging your health? Dr. Ali Irani, the first physiotherapist for the Indian cricket team and my dear friend, reveals how minor habits can impact posture, leading to lasting issues. He dives into posture's power, from easing injuries to boosting resilience. Beyond alignment, Dr. Ali Irani uncovers saffron, a wonder superfood's hidden benefits, the stress-relieving effects of pranayama, and clear guidance on vitamins, what you need and where to find it. He even warns about the risk of constant gadget use and highlights grounding practices like walking barefoot to balance your energy. Finally, he explains why quality sleep is essential for physical and mental renewal. This episode is a call to you to rethink your daily choices and turn your health around. Join me and Dr. Ali Irani as this podcast helps you change your health for the better you. So before we get started, I have a health shot over here for you. So here's to your health and my health and everyone's health out there.
Cheers.
Cheers.
of this aloe vera.
Cheers. Not bad.
Thank you.
It's been a long time coming. Dr. Ali Irani, I've known him for more than a decade now. My journey started with him in the cricket field because I used to sell nutritional supplements and I had pitched an amino acid to Dr. Ali many, many years ago. Over the years, our friendship have blossomed. We share notes and I wanted to pick his brain today based on his decades of experience. My favorite experience with Dr. Ali, every time I meet him, he never fails to gift me something. So it's always nice to meet my Santa Claus. And what does he gift? He gives you health and he gives you a story. So I wanted you, the audience, to capture some of his snippets of wisdom, some of his stories. But today, as always, he started off with his most treasured gift, with his roots from his ancestors in a place where saffron was grown. Now, I never knew about saffron as a nutritionist till I met Dr. Ali Irani. And when he gifted me saffron for the first time, he gave me a lot of inputs. So instead of me telling you those inputs as a nutritionist, let's have Dr. Ali tell us why saffron and how come he gifts everyone saffron.
Thank you, Ryan. It's great meeting you, and I've been always following your Instagram, on YouTube. Whatever you say, you have been one of the person who has been getting health back to India. Thank you. As story goes about saffron, in olden days, saffron was exchanged with gold. There was a value of saffron. But with science found out, no doubt, it's high in immunity, and it's also a mood stimulator. We all need to stimulate our moods. No doubt, people have used it for facials, for creams. It has come in just a string of it coming in milk, kesar milk it is called. And of course in all the Indian sweets it's used, and it was also used for biryanis. The flavor of biryani is to come from saffron. No doubt, I go regularly to Iran for my lectures, and what I pick up best for India is usually saffron. So I want all my friends to have a good mood and high immunity.
So, you know, when you first gifted saffron to me and you told me this story about it being equivalent to gold, so I went back and as a nutritionist and did some research. And there are few case papers on saffron extract reducing anxiety and depression in women. So now, every evening I ask my wife, would she like a cup of chamomile tea with a strand of saffron in it?
Yes.
Because I think it helps women, especially women coming towards perimenopause and menopause. It's a great thing. But, you know, you gift people things, but you're a true doctor of health and wellness. You practice for many years now, few decades at the Nanavati Hospital in Mumbai. Your career started in sports physiotherapy, and you were with the Indian cricket team. Tell us something about sports injury and how sports and mechanics and the whole evolvement of sports medicine is now today coming to the common man.
After finishing studies from MS University, Baroda, I joined Dr. Rambai Patel in Bombay Hospital as a researcher. And as my things went on research, there's a lot of sportsmen used to come to Bombay Hospital early morning for different treatments. That's how the journey begins now. After in 1987, I joined, 1st July, I joined Nanavati Hospital. Now it is Nanavati Max in Mumbai. And it's almost 38 years I'm with them. So we made the physiotherapy change, and everything changed. When I was a student, there were only 7 physiotherapy colleges in India. And after I joined the Indian cricket team in 1987, now we have more than 300 colleges.
Wow.
So the value of physiotherapy started being known in India after me joining the Indian cricket team.
Just for the uninitiated, okay? Do you need to be injured to go to a physiotherapist?
No, why not prevention? I think so. Physios are playing a great role in prevention, and prevention is always better than cure. We know there are 6 problems that all of us will get it: high blood pressure, diabetes, cervical spondylitis, bad vital capacity, we'll talk on it, OA knees, slip disc, and obesity. All can be prevented by a physiotherapist if you do the right exercises, and of course, nutrition. They've come to you. I've seen number of my patients getting results. Go to Rhine and it's result.
So, from what I understand is that both our professions exist also because humans get these lifestyle conditions. When you were at the Indian cricket team, did they have lifestyle conditions or sports-specific issues that you saw over an evolvement? Today, cricket is at the peak. We recently won the World Cup. But you then also hear that a lot of the players are getting injured. So is it because they are pushing and therefore the body is breaking? Is it because genetics is bad? What are some of the things that you've seen with athletes as things that are easily solvable? And does any of that trickle into the Aam Aadmi?
Of course, as far as the cricketers goes before me, what I'd heard from the seniors, they were all workers in bank, in cement company, railways, in Air India. So they had to ask for leave. They have been selected for India, and limited practice. And there was no physiotherapist with any team, any sports team. I'm not talking about cricket, any sports team. So when I went, my first job was to tell them, see, I've come here for prevention, not only to treat you all. We want to see that you are not injured. So we have done the evaluation of what all injuries you can get. So I found out that there was not a proper programmed warming up. And warming up is very important because you have to raise the temperature of your body so your muscle can stretch more. And after warming up, a good stretching session. And then as we went on doing that, there was less injury and the performance increased. It became better because we started talking to them about exercises. Nobody knew what is a gym. So for them, practice was the batsman going and knocking, and they used to find young boys to throw at them, and the bowlers wanted to bowl. So some bowlers bowled to warm up at the wall, and then they came in the nets. So there were no closed nets that time. So, very few limitations were there. And there were only 14 players being selected, manager, and then I went as a physio. So only 16 team. But now with God's grace, sports is given importance. There is no team in India which doesn't have a physiotherapist. Even a state team, a Ranji team, a club team will have a physiotherapist with it. Because that prevention becomes easier. Most of the live shows on television, they have a physiotherapist being there. So the value had come for prevention. So idea is we give them good warm-up, good cooling down. So we can prevent the injury and the sportsman can last longer.
Dr. Ali, I'm getting inspired because I don't think I'm a cricketer. I don't think I'm a sports person. But as I'm closing in on my 50, I feel the body getting tighter, hurting in my joints, ankle hurts, knee hurts. I had a partial ACL rupture about 2 years ago. I'm getting inspired on what you're telling me. So should the common man also take the services of a physiotherapist, not because you're broken, but because you're aging? So would there be benefit in that? And if there is a benefit, could you give us some of the real tangible benefits? People go out. Yesterday I was in Mumbai and I saw the bill in the next table. It was like 40,000 rupees. People are turning up in cars that are very expensive, but their posture is all wrong. I saw a guy get out of a luxury German car and he was walking teda. And I was just thinking this youngster needs the services of Dr. Ali Irani and his team. So common man, why should we crystal ball gaze into our future with physiotherapy?
Why I'm saying prevention is better than cure. We have done a study on primary school children, and we found out 13% of the school children had scoliosis.
What is scoliosis?
Scoliosis is the spine not being straight. It's either on the right side or left side. The curvature.
Teda basically.
Teda, yeah. So now that is the way they carry the bags.
Oh, it is not from birth?
No. It's the way they carry the bag. But my worry is at primary level, they are not even 10 years old. So what would happen when they are adult and they are into some profession? So prevention has to start from school level. So telling them the right posture, the right bag, how to carry the bag. Now sometimes the classes have got breadth. So the right side is always turning to the left and watching, and the people sitting on the left side are like that, wanting to watch the teacher turning to the right side. Now here I tell the teachers that every Monday, those who are sitting on the right should sit on the left, and those who are sitting on the left should sit on the right. So this is a point to be noted for prevention. To vital capacity. God has made our lungs, and this I'm telling you how to have as you're turning 50. Our lungs were made for 4.5 to 5 liters of air.
4.5 to 5 liters.
And Indians are below 2 liters.
And maybe that's the reason why we're not at a very good Olympic level of athleticism.
We have my PhD student has done on 8 football team players. That means into 25.
Measured the vital capacity.
We measured the vital capacity. We saw their kick, how they could kick. And next interesting thing, we did the blood test for vitamin D3 and B12. So coming to the point, as you are turning 50, as I say, vital capacity of most of the Indians are below 2 liters unless they are doing pranayam or they are a marathon runner or a sportsman. A sportsman will be 3 liters, 3.5 liters plus. Pranayam guy will be 4 liters plus, those who are doing pranayam.
So Dr. Ali is saying do pranayam to boost your vital capacity, which hugely improves your physical fitness.
We lost all COVID patients. If we have lost them, we have lost them because the vital capacity was below 1.2 liters. Just below 1 liter.
So even children can learn pranayama,
Yes,
middle-aged people. Should I advise corporate India to do pranayama in the office?
Yes.
For how long?
Shang, I'll say you a simpler word. Shangs available in South Kanyakumari especially.
Yes.
People go and buy with the names to be written on it. They present it to their guest and they keep it as a paperweight.
Yeah.
But you try to blow 8 to 10 shanks in the morning. It's not easy. And if your vital capacity is 3 plus, you will be able to blow it. So we all should start using shang, blowing shang morning to increase our vital capacity.
You heard the doctor. Let's get shunks in our life. So this was there that I can do that as half
One.
of India. So improve my vital capacity.
Vitamin D3, vitamin B12.
What about vitamin D and B12?
D3
Practicing
takes
in,
care of your bone.
okay.
B12 takes care of your muscle and nerves.
Okay.
And most of the Indians, I would say 50% plus Indians, will be below the required range.
Is this your experience when you're working in the
If
hospital?
a patient comes to me, yahan bhi dukta, yahan bhi dukta, yahan bhi dukta, number of pains, I usually want my musculoskeletal patient who complain about aches and pain to do D3 and B12. And 90% of them, it's low. Just put them high on, you are the best nutrition and things change.
So here's the thing, okay? Sometimes clients say to me as a nutritionist, Ryan ji, natural de do. Right? Now we both know that vitamin D is not available in any natural sources to significantly impact the body. Can you explain to people that vitamin D and B12 are vitamins and they are found in nature, and if you take it as a tablet, pill, powder, or even an injection for that matter, it still remains a vitamin, which is something closest found to inside your body. So people shouldn't worry that this powder, pill, or tablet is a medicine.
See, one, it's very difficult to get in vegetarian. So non-veg has sources. I would always say that paya soup will have vitamin D3 and mutton will have B12. The organs, especially urda, kaleji, all that will have B12. Very difficult to find in vegetarian food, which you would have to tell the people better what is the option in vegetarian. In all your talks I see, you tell them the options for what they can choose. Very, very important for Indians, because most of the Indians, so I was studying about my study, 8 football teams, when we saw every player had less of D3 or B12, and most of them both. So we give them the supplement through injection form, that's fastest, and after 72 hours we did all the tests again. The shocking thing was their vital capacity increased by half a liter. If they were to, only by vitamin D3 increase.
I wish I met you on this podcast before we went to the Olympics, because
Yes.
we could have
They
tested everyone for B12 and D.
Yes, you anytime do it.
And I actually have a public confession. So a lot of athletes come to me and we do ask for the blood test. And at least 80% of the athletes, even from affluent backgrounds, have vitamin deficiencies.
Affluent background have even hemoglobin low. Go to the children of schools, even the best IB schools. Hemoglobin has to be at least 10 of a child. You give me a child with hemoglobin 10 and the child will become something.
So what you're saying is that we start with the children.
Body
teaching-
composition. What I want to meet to have a healthy life, to live 100, if you are going to make a century.
Correct.
So few things which you have to keep checking. At least once in 6 months, vitamin D3, B12. Magnesium plays a very, very important role. We can talk a lot on magnesium.
Why magnesium?
Especially, you emphasize more on oral magnesium, tablet form, oil form and all that. My emphasis is more on topical form, the spray form or oil form. Because most of the magnesium has to be supported with something. So magnesium with affirmation is important, which is intention. So a magnesium can be used as a spray for pain, for a sports recovery, for joint pain. So we use a lot. Even my postgraduate student have done a study comparing treating a patient physiotherapy, and after the treatment, the second group only adding magnesium oil, spraying magnesium on them. And I think Dr. MG's magnesium is one of the best because they are with affirmation. So you are not taking magnesium, you are taking a magnesium with a cause for what? For pain, for recovery, right? For better joint, better strength, for better recovery. So I feel magnesium with affirmation is going to be a big thing, next thing in the world that people will go for. And as far as orally is concerned, I think so pumpkin seed has high magnesium.
Yes, it is.
Chana has high magnesium. And of course, all other medicines also are playing around it to increase the magnesium. But when you compare, I would love to compare, if you give me a proper magnesium oral, I would love to compare with the spray and oil on a number of people with knee problem or back problem and come out and prove to the world which is a better choice, to have it orally or to have it through spray form.
So what we do at the Collagen clinics, and this is a very interesting thing, is that although we look at the magnesium levels in the blood, in serum, and in the RBCs, I also look at the genetic test, the ability for a gene to absorb magnesium or not. Now, when I give it orally, I look at the population of the person I'm giving it to. So if it's an older person, I tend to give more of magnesium threonate for brain absorption. Because my team had done some research where they said that people who had better magnesium in their blood had larger brains. And so I thought that, the chess players, people who use their brains, or elderly people, both my parents are 77, I put them on magnesium threonate. But for the athletes, bisglycinate or magnesium citrate, from a cramping perspective, has significantly reduced.
So the enemy of a sportsman is lactic acid. I'm coming to more base of it. Now, lactic acid sets in if your oxygen reduces. So as you are tired, the cramp comes.
Correct.
So if you have a better vital capacity, there is a delay of setting in the lactic acid. Now, magnesium main role is to hold things. So I have found if you increase the magnesium, your B12, D3, you are eating in some food. The idea is the body is not absorbing it. Now, the second thing about is absorbing when you are giving in oral form, it's the condition of your gut, how good it is to absorb it. But skin absorbs magnesium better.
It's the largest organ.
Yes. So I'm saying, so here that comparative study will definitely prove whether orally it's going to be good or skin. But at present, I feel, because we are a physiotherapist, we don't encroach into your field when you all are giving. But it's a nice thing if you can tell your patient if orally they will be using it with affirmation. And definitely your affirmation will be there for what you are giving. There's a reason to it why. That's why I feel till today all Gurudwaras, the prasad is chana.
Chana, yes.
So it increases the magnesium.
True.
Right? In Middle East countries, the drivers keep breaking seeds, pumpkin seeds. They eat pumpkin seeds. So reasons were not known. But one of the reasons that we are finding now is they are just increasing the magnesium level.
Speaking of occupations and all, and as you're talking, I remember one article I read about teenagers going for rock concerts. And they did this analysis where post the rock concert, the serum magnesium levels actually dropped. And it's got something to do with hearing and a buffering capacity. So I always look at people in the IPL when they're playing and all, loud stadiums, extreme noise. So I ensure that I also supplement with magnesium. So a lot of things are coming back in memory. But speaking of my brain and memory, your experience as a physiotherapist, how powerful is the mind to get an action, reaction, or an injury from the body?
I can tell you a story of one of our players. I would not like to name the players. First match going to open play for India, and we were hardly 42 runs down with 3 wickets. But what I saw him when he was getting ready, he knows he's going for his first match. He was psyching himself, and he used to say in Marathi, he was speaking, Mala karalaj paije, means I have to do it, And he was the only one after he went in, he stabilized our team. He made 100.
Okay.
So psyching oneself, very, very important. We had another boxer from UK. He used to straight come on interview and say, he can't defeat me. One knock, I'll knock him off. And for long, I'd seen him, I think his name is Prince. For long, I saw him not losing any game. So yes, with that positive mind that you go, but seeing the team, I have seen a player where after seeing the wicket, that wicket was fast, he dropped out saying, hey, I'm not fit, 100% fit. So I have a neck problem and I won't be able to see the thing. But the person who went instead of him as an opener became a regular opener. And by evening, the neck also became all right.
So opportunity favors the bold.
So psyching oneself, what you want to do is very, very important. I can do it. I'm here for it.
And speaking of psyching yourself out and doing all of these things, you also get people operating in the boundaries of superstition. So one is to believe that I have to do it. Another is trying to place it with a superstition. So have you seen any superstitious behaviors as a
Most
sports?
Most of our players. See, what I want to say, when they enter the team, Indian team, they have come with pure hard work, pure records, fantastic performance. That's how they come on the Indian side. But to maintain it, maybe after few months or a year, I see the rings coming, the pukra, the neelam, the thing, something on the neck, something tavis on the arm, something on the waist, right? And each one have their own superstitious ideas. I had players which had to cut a little bit of hair on the evening before the match. I had players which felt that if they didn't sleep at night well, they will definitely perform. Maybe once he must have batted well. After that, he always felt he should not sleep on the eve of the.
I think that's something that we should not advise to the youngsters out there.
There are studies to prove it now.
Yes. In fact, I worked on a podcast just like you with Dr. Shane Criado, who wrote a book on peak sleep performance for athletes.
A student. He
And
was my student.
He was your student.
Yes.
Small world, right? So Dr. Shane wrote the book, and there was a study he quoted from one of the leading Ivy schools on the basketball team, and they made the players sleep 10 hours, and the 3-point accuracy throw actually increased by I think 9 to 10% more.
Definitely.
So that's there. Speaking of sleep, what's your position on sleep as a doctor? Because sleep, posture, like sometimes I get up in the morning and you're getting older, right? And you just get up from bed and you're like, okay, I heard something by just sleeping. So that's age catching up with you. So is there a right side to put my head? Should I sleep north-south direction? Should my pillow be a high pillow, low pillow, mattress? What are all the, let's not call it superstition, but so much of information is out there as the doctor who controls the movement of the body and making it better. Sleep.
I feel the best position is your head being on the east
Okay.
and leg towards the west. Second option is head being to the north.
Okay.
That's the best two options.
Okay.
And you will sleep. If you're regularly doing it, you will definitely sleep better also.
You use the word regular. Do you mean
Every
that
time.
the human race should try and sleep at the same time every day?
Same time, very important. And how many cycle of sleeps? In general, let's talk, because most of our audience will not be having any specialty. So I want in general say increase your sleep by 1 hour and you will be better. Better health.
It's the best pill on the planet.
Yes.
Increase your sleep by 1 hour. Dr. Ali Irani says increase your sleep by 1 hour and everything will get better.
Yes.
What about pillows?
I feel this space between the neck and the shoulder when you sleep. Either usually we sleep on the right or left. We can't sleep supine whole night. Some have a habit of sleeping on the chest. But when you're sleeping on the right or left, this space has to fill up. So there is no particular pillow. Just fill it up.
Got it.
The pillow.
I used to get neck pain for a long period sleeping on a thin pillow, and the moment I just padded it up, it disappeared. Speaking of sleep also, I have a lot of my clients asking me this question. When I was young, I didn't snore. When I became 45, 50, I began to snore. What's the reason behind that?
Laxity of the muscles.
What's laxity of muscles?
The muscles getting weaker.
So is there an exercise to improve the muscle?
There are a lot of exercises.
So pranayama does that in any way?
A lot of breathing exercises does that. Weight does that. I think
Weight?
so. Yes. Dr. Shane has spoken a lot on snoring, a lot of how to get rid of. There's a test called sleep apnea.
Correct.
And it's shocking. Like your normal breathing stopping every hour should be not more than 5. But there are people who will be stopping their breath by 20, 30, 25, 30.
Is that the reason why they get up in the morning feeling completely tired and fatigued and not having felt a good night of sleep?
See, again, the other reason could be the REM period. See, usually we sleep 1 hour, 20 minutes to 1.5 hours. We sleep after we have felt asleep. Then for 10 to 20 minutes, we dream. That's called the REM period, rapid eye movement period. That time we are dreaming. Then again we fall asleep for 1.5 hours or 1 hour, 20 minutes. And then again we dream. So now the whole night that goes on. So when you get up, if you get up during that 1 hour, 20 minutes or 1.5 hours, that's your sleep time, you feel you have slept very well. And if you get up between the 10 and 20 minutes, your dream period, depending on your dream, you feel how when you get up, oh, it was a bad dream, or you are not comfortable when you have got up. So you need to keep reshuffling your timing so that you always get up into the sleep period rather than the REM period.
Okay. So we can't control posture when sleeping, but what about posture in daily life? What are the things that you see when people are walking on the road and you're like, oh, this guy has this problem? So any fixes for the Indian population?
So I feel at night we love to go into the warm posture. We always cuddle and sleep. So we go in flexion. We get up in the morning, we brush our teeth, we are bending forward. We are driving, we are on the table working. Whatever work we are doing, we are bending forward. So I always say that Surya Namaskar was made to do the extension early morning, which we don't do. So I could show you the posture, which I call it a modern Surya Namaskar. You can lie on the bed on your stomach with a pillow under your chest to correct your posture, to unwind, I call it. So when you're walking, one simple way at home, whether you can keep a book on your head and walk and the book should not fall. Two, I prefer the girls having a earring with big chain. So that chain should be on the shoulder.
Okay.
So usually if the girl is walking wrong, the chain would be in front of her. So she will start pushing her neck backward. See, always remember when we take our chin, we call it chin tuck. When you take a chin forward, there is no pain. But as you push back, there is pain, which should not be there. So that means you're bending, your neck is coming forward. So keep strengthening your neck with chin tucks. You can hold a towel. You can see the picture there and keep pushing it back.
Is it because of the mobile phones?
It's worse, and it started with television.
So all the time you're like that.
It started with television. Started with television 60, 70 years back. When television came, we started watching TV and engrossed in it. Then it worsened with the mobile phones coming in. Yeah. And now still worsen with the smartphones and other gadgets that has come in. So we are not doing anything to unwind. So there are a few exercises which you can see, which we have to unwind ourselves rather than stooping forward. And night also we cuddle and sleep on the right or left.
You know, doctor, I get another question also on related to the dynamics of the human body and posture. Keeping a wallet for men in their back pocket, how bad is it?
See, most of my back problem, one of the reason I check if it is a male, I check the wallet. The wallets are supposed to be kept in the front pocket.
Front pocket?
Yeah, because wallets nowadays are not currency. There are a lot of cards, your credit cards, your club cards. So when you sit, usually what happens when you're sitting on your buttocks, because of the wallet, you get an upslip. So we've got SI joint, it's sacroiliac joint upslip or downslip. So usually it's an upslip on the whichever side the wallet is. So you are sitting on a wallet, that means you are sitting on something hard surface which is not balanced well with your sacroiliac joint. So I always would advise the wallet should come in the front pocket.
Maybe that's the reason why all of us should take up UPI more often,
yes.
So we have a lesser amount. But then you have the mobile wallet there with you. And coming into mobile phones, the radiation part, doctor, what is your thought on the radiation part?
See, I have spoken earlier on earthing. So most of us have some voltage. If you allow me, I could just demonstrate
sure,
and show
let's
you
do that.
about it. This is a voltmeter.
Okay.
Just hold it, right?
Okay, I'm holding it.
So I'm showing it to the camera. You're on 0.53 voltage, right?
Yeah.
So if I earth you now, earthing, right?
Okay. So high value is not a good value.
No.
That means I have current in my body, and that comes from flights and mobile phones and
radiation,
and even all the cameras, laptop, everything.
So I put an earthing pad here.
Okay.
And put your other hand on it.
So me putting the hand.
So it's now 0.55 voltage.
So me putting my hand on an earthing mat means I should
You're earthing yourself.
Whoa, look at that. I just went to zero.
Yeah. That is the earthing.
From 50 to zero.
Yeah, in apartment, because we don't have a normal mud ground, we don't have a grass or a sand. So how you'll earth yourself? No tiles is going to earth you. No carpet is going to earth you.
So in my walking at home on my marble floor is not helping me?
No.
So what do I need to do, doctor?
Go on a plain ground.
And?
Or sand.
Yeah.
Or on a grass. Or have a mat.
But I do walking every day, doctor.
Yeah, but your voltage showed. I proved you.
No,
if you leave your hand from the matting, you are back to that. So you have that much of voltage, 0.54 volt in your body.
So when I walk, I need to walk with my shoes, or I need to walk
without
barefoot?
shoes, without socks. That's the biggest problem. All our nana-nani parks, the park that we go, people go on the beach to walk. But what happened? They walk with the shoes and socks.
So doctor,
Barefooted. You should ground yourself. Be grounded. You get earthing.
So say that again. India needs to walk barefoot?
Barefoot. We were. Adivasis still walk barefooted. Many population in this India still they don't know what is a footwear.
Fine. There's no problem with me. I didn't feel anything till you put a voltmeter and showed it to me. So what is this grounding? I mean, is the voltage in my body doing some harm to me?
Yes. Yes. That's one of the cause of inflammation. Body should remain zero inflammation, zero voltage.
So if I lower my voltage, I can also lower my inflammation.
By lower, zero it. So when you take long flights and come, your voltage increases much more. And we call it jet lag.
Ah.
So earth yourself.
So you're saying walk barefoot, and all my shoes are like with foam or rubber or plastic. So if I take away that and walk barefoot, great. I'm discharging, my inflammation will be bettered and come down. But what about, I go to the gym and we wear all of these nylon and lycra, and what about those clothings? Would that also have some sort of effect on us?
I feel the cotton clothings are the best.
That's natural, right?
It's natural. 2, it can absorb the perspiration. But other nylons and all that doesn't absorb. 2, when we are walking, you should walk barefooted. No socks, no shoes. There are nice nana-nani parks or grounds all over India, but people wear the best shoes. They buy shoes for 20,000-25,000 rupees to walk. They think walking will be better if they have a better shoes. No, it should be barefooted. So colonies at least keep some space where elderly people can put a chair and just put their feet on the mud. Let them get discharged.
So Dr. Ali, as one of India's most experienced physios, you're recommending that I should go for a walk barefoot?
Barefoot. Not on a tar road or concrete road, on mud, grass or sand.
And do I need to walk fast or just slow?
Normal.
Can I also stand in a position
Yes,
at ground?
you can sit. I ask elderly people, 65 plus, 70 plus, you can put a chair and put their feet on the ground, on the earth, at least for 20 minutes.
Wow, that's so amazing. So we talked about earthing, right? And as you were speaking, we were talking about voltage. Voltage was going through my head and everything. And I was thinking that we only conduct voltage because of water in our body, right? We know that 60+% of us is water. And people ask me, the superstars come to me, water and everything. So I have my own opinion, which comes from reading or asking people like you, what's your opinion on water?
Alkaline should be 8 or 9. It's a good water. It should be alkaline. pH should be 8 or 9. I sometimes feel the tap water boiled is better than most of the mineral waters or the RO waters, reverse osmosis.
Okay.
It just takes away everything what is in the water. So a normal tap water, which is rainwater, could be, if proper tests are done, could be better than the mineral water, which has nothing.
And do you advocate people carrying their own water from home in their own water bottles? Or should we just keep buying these plastic bottles when we are at the office or traveling?
I'm against plastic. 2, the way we drink water is very important, right? Till now, nobody has spoken, but our Ayurveda talks on it. See, water has to be had sip by sip, because we have got 2 entries. We have an air entry and a food entry. So if you are sitting down and if you are sipping a water, take a sip. It does not go to the air passage.
Correct.
It will go to the food passage. Right. So you will, if your thirst goes faster away, right, room temperature water. And definitely if you are a sportsman, you lose a lot of salt. So good electrolyte, good sports drink is going to help you, but not chilled and not standing and drinking. When you stand and you gulp a bottle, so there are chances because some droplets can go into the windpipe, and that's how you always get cold. Always you are coughing, you have problems.
Wow, awesome. So actually, our players should be like, should we sit down and drink water?
Always, whether you squat, whether you sit on a chair, or whether you sit on the floor. It's much better than standing, and guys, see, usually the players stand and they gulp the whole bottle of water, which is better. So how to drink water is also important.
Something I learned from Dr. Ali today. I'm going to be advising all my sports clients like, hey, you want to drink water on the cricket field? Squat down or kneel down and drink some water. In the same breath of water, what about eating?
Again, eating is very slowly. So the best way of eating is cross-leg sitting. So, and you're bending forward to eat, and when you're reaching your morsel, so 1/4 of your abdomen is under pressure, so you're not going to eat full 100%. You'll be eating just 70-75%.
Wow.
We should stop eating food on tables. We eat till here.
So are you saying, doctor, that in South India where I live, and all of the local joints which have high tables where people are standing and eating, that's the wrong way to eat?
Wrong way.
Because you just eat more, right?
We should go back to our culture.
Wow.
Indian culture says sit on the ground. You can squat.
So that's a fast food culture, standing up and just eating and run.
Even the food is bad. What happens to our school children? They are all on fast food. That's why the hemoglobins are low. The vitamin D3, B12 not there. Vital capacity not there. This very interesting thing about school children I want to tell you. We did a random study of the parents, just asking them one question. You can do it in your own city. Ask the parent, what does your child do when they come home? More than half will say they just throw the bag and go into the bathroom. So these are the kids that they don't go to the bathroom in the school. And morning the parents just wake them 10 minutes before the school bus or the car leaving, and they get them ready and send them. So there is no pressure build. They have not gone to toilet. So night they must have gone to the toilet. Morning they don't go before going to school. In school they are embarrassed to go. So they come, so they don't understand anything in school. In school they are blank. They are only looking at the clock when I'll reach home. So I advise the parents, wake your children 45 minutes to 1 hour before. Give them whatever you want, juice, whatever drink, milk, whatever you want to give them, tea, coffee. So some pressure is built. So they should go properly in the bathroom, and when they go to school, they understand and they are more focused. But the same kids, they come home, they have a tuition. In tuition, they understand something because they are relaxed, they are at home. So my advice to parents are check how many time, or go to school with your children and teach them how to use the restroom, washroom in the school.
Wise words, doctor. So I need to come to you to get my hips fixed because I've been sitting in a chair all my life and I find it very difficult to cross my legs. So does this overage, the inability to sit cross-legged, it's a function of basically not practicing?
See, whatever you do every day, you are used to it. Now many people are used to even pushing the chair and getting up. That is again a weakness of muscle. So we should try our best to see when we are getting up not to use our arms. So you are strengthening your leg more. Similarly, when you start practicing, there are very few stretching exercises where within a month you should be able to see cross leg. So it all has to do the stretch of the muscle and the joints.
Speaking of joints, I have a very young team between 20 to 35 years of age. And they're in the office most of the day. And we see a lot of them complaining about neck problem or back problem, or, like when they stand up, they feel weird or they feel funny. They complain about something hurting. What advice would you give to working corporate India?
One, keep a physio ball, one in the office.
Okay.
And make it a rule that everybody should sit on it for 10 minutes at least while working. See, we have just dropped ourselves on this chair. We just dropped. We are not bothered about balancing. We are not, our core muscles are not working. But when you sit on a physio ball, you will find that your core muscles are working. And your mind has to be very alert to keep your balance, otherwise you will fall. So at least in your office there is one, have a physio ball. We are done on many IT offices. Leave one ball in the office and turn by turn, and there is fight people now. Some certain offices have got 2 and 3 because they fight for it. And especially for parents, I want to say, tell the children, if your children wants to be on a computer or laptop, they should sit on such ball, physio ball, and do. So at least their core muscles are working. So we are doing 2 things. 2, in office, don't serve people water, tea, coffee at the table. So have a room, ask them once in an hour, once in an hour and a half. They would love to go. Let them go. There is a place where they can go and make their own tea, coffee, or have a glass of water and come. That break does a lot of change. The stiffness won't occur.
So people in my clinic, you got to hear this from Dr. Ali Irani. We have a cafeteria where you have to walk 300 steps. And most of you choose to take the lift to the 3rd floor and go and sit in that small pantry and eat your food very fast. The reason I kept the cafeteria 300 meters away is so that you could take that walk, unwind your spine,
Yes.
get your posture, see a little bit of nature, detox your eyes, and then come back to work after your lunch break. So what I've advised, Dr. Ali Irani has just endorsed. So with this physio ball, that's one great option. What about this standing desk? I was recently asked for a standing desk in my office. What's your opinion?
If it's for a limited time, you can.
What is limited time?
But whenever you are standing, like both your knees should not be in extension. Always you have to stand on one leg. So usually if you see the old places, you could just put your one leg on top, at least half a feet away. So that's the best posture to be in, and you could stand longer. Otherwise, standing for long can give a stretch to your back. You can have back pain, and if you flex more, then it will be the posture. You will get a hump, neck problems.
So a lot of ergonomics has to be thought through in office. But doctor, I tell a lot of people who come to me in their middle ages, get up in the morning and do 5-10 minutes of some stretching and yoga. First of all, how little amount of time can you devote to get some mobility and joint movement, and how much should we spend on, let's say, muscle enablement and some on joint health?
See, if you go age-wise, the best thing would be when you are going to get up. So 1 hour, 20 minutes to 1.5 hours before sunrise, the universe releases an ozone, which is very good for your health.
Okay.
So a lot of work is happening on ozone. My students have done a study on morning walkers and evening walkers. And we found out that the morning walkers were healthier than the evening walkers.
Why?
Maybe because of their ozone.
Oh.
Yes.
Also in the evening, there's more pollution
Maybe.
in our cities.
But let's learn from the animals and birds. There is no birds or animal in this world that doesn't get up 1.5 hours before sunrise. Do you think they have to go for a job, for a work? So nature has taught them. A nice study I have read about it. Just early morning, your eyes falling in anything green, nature, tree, plant, leaves. There's an exchange of some radiation in your eyes, which is again going to be very good for your health.
In fact, the Japanese talk about walking through the forest actually boosts your immune system.
Yes.
And they did a study on that. So there's so much benefit to that early morning walk, which you're advising for the ozone. Morning walkers are healthier. And it'll probably just open up your body. In fact, where I come from in Bangalore, they've actually put these small mini gyms in the gardens where you see people working out. And I think more and more of India needs to sleep earlier and get up earlier and just get that half an hour. Would half an hour be enough, doctor?
The best sleeping time has to be before 11. 11 to 4 is the best sleeping time. You can't compromise. I will sleep at 12 and get up at 9 in the morning. So you have lost that 1 hour. So see that you are in bed by 10, 10:30. After 4 o'clock, you can get up any time and start doing the activity which you were doing midnight.
Speaking of midnight and all of these activities, we're so distracted by technology today, and hence we sleep later. In fact, I recently had a couple come to nutrition counseling in Bangalore, and they said that, they have hardly any time to procreate. Now, if you look at our great grandparents, they had cricket teams. And today, people for economic status are delaying childbearing, having kids in 35, 40 years of age. So, fertility, is it affected by age? Is it affected by, the radiation from our devices? And are there any injuries also that come to sports people and that affects their fertility?
See, the Wi-Fi's and radiation of mobile definitely will affect the sports people. I was discussing with one of the top cricketers. I was explaining nowadays one of the things when we want to fight against our enemy is to put more Wi-Fi units in their dressing room, in their room, so that Wi-Fi could bring down their performance down, right? So definitely.
You just showed me the grounding.
Yeah.
And how I came down to 0. So more Wi-Fi means
Increase of voltage. Increase of voltage means more inflammation in your body, more disturbances. So people who till last moment are watching their WhatsApp or on their phone, smartphone, and then they want to sleep, they are not going to get a proper sleep. I feel the charging should be in another room. The Wi-Fi should be in another room. So your sleeping room should have nothing, neither the charger, neither the Wi-Fi. Then your quality of sleep will improve.
In Bangalore, what I do is I slip a note under all my neighbors' doors when they forget to switch their Wi-Fi off at night. Because you can see everyone's Wi-Fi on, right? So you get, there's XYZ neighbor's Wi-Fi is on. So I kind of slip a note under the door talking about the ill health of Wi-Fi and their babies and their children and all. And it has worked. So people tend to switch off after 10 p.m. Because, do you really need Wi-Fi to have 4K dreams?
But as we are talking about it, maybe the new builders, the new houses coming up, they would try to put a Wi-Fi in a central place in the hall where you don't sleep there, or it could be in the kitchen. So it can take when we need it. So when you are not needing it, at least it's not close to you, not within the vicinity of next 2-3 meters.
So very interesting thing I've done in my office in Bangalore. My team always finds out, how do I have such a fast connection? And there's no Wi-Fi in my office room. I have a broadband cable going straight into the computer. Yes. And as much as possible, I try, when I enter into my office, I put my mobile data off, my Wi-Fi off, and my Bluetooth off. And I think the practice of doing it is more in terms of knowing that radiation may have some impact. Yes. Can I lower it or lesser it?
Definitely it has.
So doctor, coming back to this radiation and fertility, are there, on a non-radiation perspective, that is injuries that will affect people going to gym or sports people, because you have experience with sports people, that they have problems with fertility later on in life, both men and women, because now we're having more women entering into sports also?
See, my advice to all sportsmen would be, what we are missing at present is that 1 day complete rest. So once a week, we should have that complete rest. And what I mean by complete rest is have breakfast, lunch and dinner in your bedroom. So usually sportsmen think, chalo aaj chutti hai. So they go and play down in the building with their friends, or they go for a shoot if they're shooting for advertisement, or they are flying, they are traveling. I always advise the team that 1 day rest should be rest, proper rest. So we're missing out, and that's that unwinding thing of the whole week. Because after that 1 day of complete rest, the next day that you go you are prepared for the whole week what to do. So that's one. And as far as fertility is concerned, it depends on person to person.
Okay.
Whether it's going to be age-wise, sex-wise, and what all they do. The stress reduces it. So during the time to distress themselves, some use it as a tool to distress, and some cannot perform because they are under stress.
So doctor, you worked with the Indian cricket team, and obviously when you warm them up, you can see injuries coming in and all. But what if a player out there is already injured? What is your go-to advice for them? Like, I got injured recently and my muscle was hurting. So I used some muscle relaxant gel, and my physio told me there's some CBD oil in it. So what's your take in ice therapy, cold bath therapy, warm therapy, salts on all of this?
Always ice is going to be the best. So there was a formula called ice. So applying ice, compression, elevation, keep the joint elevated. Then came rice, added R to it. That was rest, right? And now the new one is P attached to it, so it becomes a price. So P is the prevention. One player, if there's a good physio with the team, to prevent the injuries. Injuries should not happen. We should know. We should foresee what all could happen. So prevent. Now, if it happens, I think so the first 72 hours, first 3 days, till you have diagnosed and known what to treat, it should be ice, ice and ice. Never use anything warm, don't rub, don't massage, so you will increase the injury of the ligament or muscles. So ice is one of the best treatment, and of course replacement of ice there are cool sprays, there are different type of sprays that are coming, there are fast relief sprays that are there. You put it on and the pain immediately subsides till it is diagnosed, and then you treat. We have ultrasound, we have so many laser machines, so many other things which can treat the ligament or the muscle.
So Doc, we have gone on a lot about posture and me grounding, walking barefoot. I want to ask a few quick fast questions to you. Rapid fire. Just few wisdom snippets from you. Should I ice or use a hot pack for an injury?
Ice.
Is cracking your knuckles harmful? Cracking your body, twisting your neck and getting those cracking
No,
noises?
it relaxes you, use it.
So,
But check your beat well also.
I am going to be taking a new chair in my office. Are all of these ergonomic chairs worth the expense?
It's the distance between the chair and the table. So it's not exactly the table or the chair. So when you're working at what comfort level, sometimes people use a board in front of the table, right? You can put a small platform where I always say the angle of your knee should be higher than the angle of your hip. So put something and put your feet there, right? And then how comfortable you are when you are writing or reading. So I would not say the chair is good or the table is good. The combination has to be right.
Can physio exercises or rehab prevent surgery?
Certain cases, certain back problems, maybe a surgeon feels can be, a surgery will help, but maybe just few extension exercises, or if it's a mechanical problem, especially through mobilization, manipulation, the pain goes away, we strengthen the muscle. So not in all cases. Like if it's a meniscus tear, if it's an ACL tear, definitely physiotherapy not help. It will only strengthen the muscle. You have to go for a surgery. And especially if you are at a young age, below 40.
If you are to win Olympic medals in the future, should we do MSK screening for our children? And if yes, what age?
I feel 12 to 14 is the age that a child selects the sports. So up to the age of, from 7, 8, 9, whatever time your child wants, allow them to play any and every game possible. They should play every game. They will take a decision between 12 and 14, I want to be a cricketer, footballer, golf player, whatever. At that time, the right coaching should start. The parents should help them with the right coach. And by 16 or 18, they would be a champion.
Using balm on any injury, I got a little bit of muscle pain, soreness. Does it work or is it a placebo?
See, anything that you apply is a counter irritant. Nothing goes in your muscle, only sweat can come out from your skin. Nothing can enter. So it only counter irritates a nerve ending which is below the skin. So temporarily the pain could go away.
Doctor, should I run on a treadmill, on a ground, on the road, on mud? In what shoes should I select for my running?
See, as far as possible, if you are going to run normally on a ground and it's going to be a tar or a cemented ground, a good shoe, proper shoe which will have that flexibility and good cushioning will help. But as far as sports are concerned, every sport has a different shoe. You can't play football with the cricket shoes, right? And with the cricket shoe, you can't go and play squash. So every sports have their own shoes, seeing the environment, what it is. Every shoe should have its comfort. So usually we say 80% of your weight comes on the lateral side. So the wear and tear has to be checked regularly once in 6 months. If the wear and tear is more, then but you can ask the sportsman for the change of the shoe. Or if there are shoe bites. So we usually, a sportsman coming to me, I would love them to come to me with the shoes. Their practice shoes or their jogging shoes and the sports shoes. So we see the wear and tear of the shoe and know where it is rubbing more.
Recently, we've seen things like gait analysis and biomechanic analysis. If you had to meet a young athlete between 12 and 20 years of age, and the parents decide they have to go for the Olympics, what are the normal tests you would look at in this child?
See, there are many tests nowadays. Like same thing, there are 8 cameras. They see all your movement, and we study the movement. We see which muscle is being used more. Through EMG, we can know the strength of that certain muscle, differentiated with the right and left, balance it, strengthen it, or not getting stretched more, do more stretching exercise. So nowadays we can evaluate a sportsman thoroughly even before selection of the sports.
We get a lot of enthusiastic Indians wanting their young children to become Olympians, and between the age of 10 and 15 do very heavy exercises, compound movements, weight training and all. What is your opinion on this? Start young, go heavy like an Olympic champion, or wait to develop the body?
As I said earlier, 12 to 14 is a age where the child decide what they want to. Then the job of the parents is to get the right coaching. So the accuracy has to be better. How much? Because most of the sports are skill related. So how they will improve the skill with the right coaching, right practice. So and if they've decided between 12 and 14, okay, I want to be a baller, batsman, hockey player, football player. If you send them for the right coaching, the coach starts saying okay, where they play better. Again, in football, we have a right wing, off wing, striker, goalkeeper. So they decide in which specialty you are going to be good. So nowadays, everything is evaluated and then explained to the parents, explained to the sports person, and we can take them further. And definitely, it's at young age that we have to catch them. But remember, in India, there are certain sportsmen which, through their environment, they are very good. Right? We had got from Leh Ladakh, we got some marathon runners. They never had run a marathon. But their working place was they used to climb every day for job and then come down and again walk after lunch upstairs. So because twice a day they were climbing upstairs, their endurance had become so good. So when we brought them and made them run a marathon, they just, hands down, they won it. Because that was a natural talent in them. Similarly, we have got in Pune, the rope walkers. They could be a better gymnast because from childhood they have been trained.
How important is the strength and conditioning trainer to be qualified to prevent injury in anyone starting a workout program?
See, once you are a champion, if you want to remain a champion, you have to have. So if I have to divide it, if it during the season, 5 days a week, you should be doing your skill, whatever game you are playing. And one day you should go for conditioning in gym and all that. And one day rest. And if you're during the season, so all the 5 days you are working, but give one day for conditioning and then take one day rest. So rest period is becoming important during the season and off-season both. Only in off-season you are doing more of conditioning, gym and taking care of your health, getting to the next level. And once a week, you are doing your game, whatever game you are playing, your sports, but one day rest.
Doctor, you've seen thousands of patients over the decades. What are the top problems that people come to see you with?
Neck. I feel almost more than 80% of Indians, population that we keep, my students keep checking on them, is a neck problem. It starts from the school, college, because the way they are studying, carrying the bag, or studying for long. So we would say when you take your chin forward, there is no pain. When you push it back, it's painful. That means you have a neck problem. And cervical spondylitis is increasing like anything in all over the world. So the topmost is the neck problem. More than 80% have neck problem. Because of our lifestyle, flexing forward, that brings stress to the neck. I would say a simple exercise in the morning, as you would be seeing it, pushing the towel backward, strengthening the neck muscle can help you out. Lying down, unwinding yourself, whether we call it Surya Namaskar or putting a pillow under, as is being shown here, doing that can help your neck problem. Second is back radiating. You have lifted something heavy, or keeping a wallet on the thing can give you a back problem. So second, and third is the knee problem. A lot of our Indians, especially the women, wear and tear of the knee joint. Right. So now we could see a section of people If you see the European toilet started from there, they have more of hip problem. So more hip surgeries are done in Europe than knee. And in certain Indians, sometimes if they're using the Indian toilets properly, they're avoiding, and certain people don't know how to use or squat, can have a knee problem. So that's again the third largest which you are seeing, but India is very good in total knee replacement surgeries. But I would advise 50 plus knee problem can go for a total knee replacement, and India does a great job in it.
So, doctor, that was a rapid fire. Before I let you go, 5 snippets of wisdom that you can give me and my fans and followers and people out there watching you.
Get up early in the morning, be with nature, breathe, go out and breathe, increase your vital capacity. One good meal a day, important. And eat early for dinner, at least 3 hours before you sleep, and sleep before 11.
So those were the 5 words of wisdom from the famous Dr. Ali Irani. Now, if you want to reach out to Dr. Ali, we are going to be listing his contact details where he practices at the Nanavati Hospital. He's also on Instagram. So get clicking, get following, and you can reach out to him for his pearls of wisdom. Better still, go and meet him, because you will get to the next level of fitness in your life. Dr. Ali, thank you for gracing my podcast today. It's been an absolute pleasure having you and sharing your snippets of wisdom. You know, the one thing I'm going to take away, I'm going to start walking barefoot.
Yes. Thank you, Ryan. It's lovely.
Thank you for watching this far. It's been an amazing episode, and I'm so grateful to have you till the end. If you like this video, please share this video with your loved ones. Better still, gift me a subscribe, a like, or even a comment, and we'll come back to you.